All right, racer fans, welcome back, boogity, boogity, boogity,
Yay!
to the D3 Grand Prix. I'm Jack Carroll.
And I'm Sierra Gray.
There we go. Now, Grace Alston was on the last broadcast. For those who were watching the previous broadcast, we got a new broadcaster in the booth, Sierra Gray. Incredible painter or drawer of houses.
That's right.
And PSU graduate, University of Portland State University, sorry.
Portland State University.
But we're here at the really the moon matchup, the lunar bowl of eternity here. It's between Carleton Eclipse out of Northfield, Minnesota, and the host team, Lewis and Clark's Artemis, captained by coached by Jacob Arts. So, just out of the gate, we're looking for some clean offense. We're looking for good defense where you're plugging up the spaces, switching that handler movement that you see in Ultimate quite a bit. Some of the stars that the teams wanted to mention, we got Amelie Steer, number 29 for Lewis and Clark's Artemis. They're on the Oregon Soar, the professional women's matching team out of Portland, Oregon. Still a cold snap type of day here as the pull goes up and lap one is beginning. Artemis will be on defense.
Ooh, we got a little vert stack action. Up. Oh, maybe I shouldn't go up on the string.
And a quick D and a bit of a hop, skip travel there from Artemis to start things off. So we'll see how Artemis can do on this break conversion.
Beautiful
nice
throw
deep
from
throw.
Caitlin Osborne. Caitlin is also a practice player for Soar.
Yeah, Caitlin Osborne, another one of those players we're expecting to say quite a bit on this broadcast.
Same with Micah Keach, who is
kind of went into two players, a bit of a careening, crashing on that outside wall. We're racing here at the D3 Grand Prix. The number 15 white car with the disc in hand, looking to dump it off. A nice swing to the other side and a nice pursuit there from Caitlin Osborne. Not quite enough. So Carleton Eclipse, this is their D3 program. Carleton has both D1 and D3 ultimate programs. Pretty impressive, the amount of ultimate coming out of Minnesota. They're a nice rip here into the left back end zone.
Ooh.
And a smashing block there.
Mira. I don't know Mira's last name.
From Mira Lawrence. Lawrence, sorry about that. So Mira Lawrence then picks up the disc. Carleton's D1 program on the women's side called syzygy, which is a term of the alignment of the planets, at least the moon, the sun, and the earth. So kind of going hand in hand with that Eclipse name. I kind of like that falling in line with the program. You learn something new every day. And again, Artemis, so apparently we found out that Carleton had the god Artemis on their jerseys. So really, like we're saying, there's some lunar likeness between the teams. Let's see if we get another moonshot here. And Caitlin Osborne making her presence known for sure, Sierra. So Sierra, you've played some women's matching ultimate in your day.
I have.
What are some keys to success? At least, let's start on defense.
Keys to success on defense.
Yeah.
Sorry, they're cooking. Sorry, I'm watching.
Cooking on the handler movement. Sorry, hold up. They're cooking. Hold up. Rika Alshurs to, what was that? Mira Lawrence. Impressive little shot there.
Yes.
And Artemis converts that break. The score now 1-0. So a break to open things up for the host team here. Carleton coming all the way from Minnesota. It's got to be chilly there, but maybe, you know, in the winter days, practicing in the gym, off season, it's early season here.
Maybe this is warm for them.
Maybe this is warm for them, maybe too warm, maybe they're hot. And so the disc slipped off their fingers from the sweat.
The sweat.
So just, you know, talking about that lunar likeness. The Apollo, the gods, you got Artemis, you got Apollo.
Twins.
You think about those Apollo missions, how long ago was that? 1969?
It's not a question for me.
I can't do quick maths, but that's like over 60 years ago now? 55, 56,
That's generally like the
years.
range of math, yeah, definitely.
July 20th, 1969, Apollo 11 missions. Apparently they weren't initially to land on the moon. They were just in that space race with the Ruskies.
What were they? Space race? Grand
Space
Prix?
race, you know. Showing who's boss in the Cold War, and here we are
Where
in
were
the
they
Cold
going?
War today.
Where were they going if not the moon?
Well, they were just going out in space, going to deep space, space exploration, visionary leadership in America at the time. At the time, I'll say. Multi-talents out here, jersey designers. Pretty nice pull there from Artemis.
Some nice host act defense. Got the turn.
And a bit of a miscomm there, so Artemis once again picks up the disc. They're looking to surge ahead, but a nice poach out of the
Nice
lane.
save.
It's saved. Calm, cool, and collected. Amelie Steer, that rostered player on Soar, she's showing the chops, showing what it's about. Beautiful upline cut there from Amelie, and then hucks it deep. A little bit off the mark there. Surprising, as Artemis is the god of hunting. Goddess, sorry.
Watch yourself.
You gotta have good aim to throw that bow. Nice layout there
Not quite. We got Artemis
from
in the end
Sasha
zone.
Monks, leading to a Artemis knocking on the door situation. Nice opening cuts here, looking to swing it off that sideline. You like to see the disc in Amelie Steer's hands. Mostly running through their handlers right now. And there's the downfield cut finally.
You see Alex.
And a nice little upline cut there.
Izzy.
Estelle Campana. Back to Steer. Steer running the show. You love the patience out of them. Finds the open receiver, and that is a score. Artemis up by 2 car lengths here after just 2 laps. So far, making Carleton's score look like a bird's eye view of a race car track. The shape of the moon.
Shape of the eclipse, even. Does the eclipse have a shape?
Does an eclipse have a shape? That's a good question. You got a lot of shapes at the same time. You got the eclipse part. That's pretty circular. But then you got the moments before and after, kind of a crescent, inch by inch
Some might even say
fingernail.
the shape of the moon.
The shape of the moon, yeah. Which would you call that? A sphere?
The shape of, yeah, a sphere.
I
But to
know
the
that-
naked eye, a circle.
I think that we're going to get into a lot of quantum physics here tonight, or today, sorry.
I need to tap out of the stream.
But what I do think I can tell you with almost 100% certainty is the Earth is actually more of like, it's not a sphere. It's like kind of an oblong shape.
I was really worried you were going to say flat there for a second.
And also it has to do with the water. Like if you imagine the water kind of dripping around, it's kind of in space.
The shape of the earth has to do
It
with water?
fluctuates. Yeah, the shape of the earth, right? Yeah, because you got a lot of water on the surface there. A lot of blue on the surface, just like the Arctic.
Like
Then
that?
you got Carleton coming all the way from Minnesota. Cool to have these D3 programs, these women's matching programs, all conglomerating early in the season,
Yeah, this is
getting
such
those early matchups.
a great turnout for this tournament.
Lots of fans. You can see some of those fans walking between the games there on that back fence. Someone in the chat telling Carleton to lock in, lock it up. Some good speed to capitalize off that pole.
Ooh.
Good handler movement, and that's leading to a look at a power position, swinging it off the sideline. Some great work there from Kyla Christie, who was working it well for Carleton as a handler. But another turnover, so 3 points, 3 turnovers for Carleton Eclipse. Artemis definitely capitalized off the first two. Let's see what they can do in this third offensive set. Oh,
Little fumble at the end zone.
fumbled the bag. So now, Eclipse knocking on the doorstep.
Looking for their first point. Ooh, and a great D by Micah Keach.
Great end zone defense, sticking their person closely. I'm liking the energy, the aura, if you will, from Artemis's offense off of their D-line. They're calm. They got their heads up, looking all over the field. Good spacing from the cutters as well. I like to see them swing it off that sideline. A little bit of a high stall count, finds the release valve. And
Ooh,
that's what Lily Cahill has been for Artemis early on in this game. Been a good release valve when the pressure comes on a high stall count.
stall
Another situation,
count,
and
it's
this
up.
one's gonna be a yeet.
Tall
Number
defender
29,
there.
Monarch Kelly, showing
Great name.
royalty in the
Great
sky.
name, seriously.
And that'll lead to 2 throws into the end zone.
For the
An Eclipse.
first point for Eclipse.
2 moonshots downfield.
That's what they call them.
Score now 2-1. Artemis in the lead. A nice offensive, well, a little bit of a messy offensive hold, but they cleaned it up there at the end. Carleton, definitely a liberal arts school. You gotta be pretty smart to be there. They want to have fun. That's what they said about this tournament. They want to have a good time. Apparently, they're all self-proclaimed avid book readers, nerds. Books are the key to adventure.
Yeah, we did get that quote from the alum earlier.
Yeah, we got it from the alum Jamie Johnson. She's been in the area
Big shout out, Jamie Johnson.
for a few years, played for Portland Hive.
A lot of players on Artemis playing for Portland Hive as well.
A lot of mixed players, mixed teammates in the club area on the field today. And it's just cool to see colleges, especially D3 colleges, working their way into club programs in their respective cities. That's always cool. Jacob Arts was a captain of Hive at one point, coaches the team here at Lewis and Clark in Portland. So again, that's just, it's just good to see people giving back to the community.
Yeah, I love
Keeping the flat ball rolling.
I love getting to play mixed with people that I played against in college.
Exactly, right. Keep the dream alive.
Yeah.
Kick in a little nostalgia when you throw that moon around. People, I think, who's the moon catchers? That's a
Moon catchers.
I think it's the club ultimate team from Amsterdam. They're called the moon catchers because you know the frisbee.
Worldly.
What does it look like when it's flying in the air?
A moon. Is that what you're going for?
A little bit, yeah.
Little zone action from Eclipse.
Steering the committee. The zone's looking to work, but steer again. Commanding the field. Look
Ooh,
at that
beautiful
inside
handler movement from
shredder.
Steer.
Shredding that cup zone.
Right back to her.
Important in a zone offense, you want to move that cup around. You want to get them worn out, worn down, run them around. You don't want them to set. That defense is going to set in and pinch in. Nice catch there from Abrams, but then a turn, so the zone pays off for Eclipse. And a yeet on the backhand side,
Beautiful
right down the
throw
line,
for Eclipse.
is going to tie this game up. Score now 2-2. And
Grace
Eclipse
Prince with that beautiful shot into the end zone.
connecting constellations together,
Connecting constellations.
letting their stars shine.
That's what they say.
The bright side of the moon there. We had the dark side of the moon for the first 2 points. Artemis really fired up, and they're trying to fire up again.
Artemis is known, they've got some good cheers. They've always bringing the energy on the sideline. I love that about them.
Speaking of the bringing the energy, you want to hear a little fun fact?
I literally would love nothing more, Jack.
Okay, fun fact. Carleton College finals week, they have a silent disco to kind of relieve a little bit of stress.
Okay, we love a silent disco.
You know,
What do we...
Which is actually funny because I feel like Portland Ultimate is known for their silent discos.
Yeah.
Shout out
Nathan Braun.
Nathan Braun, who's a Midwesterner, right?
He is, yeah.
Wisconsin
Yeah,
and Minnesota
Wisconsin.
are pretty close. The
Are they?
cheese curds run deep. The hot dish runs deep. So again, that score 2-2, D3 Grand Prix. We're in our second round of Ultimate here today. You saw earlier, Lewis and Clark, men's team, hold on to their lead at the end of that game as the checkered flag waved.
Who were they playing?
And they beat Colorado College.
All
I
right.
believe the final score was 12-8.
12-8. Didn't Artemis just play Colorado College before this too?
I think they might have, the women's team maybe?
Yeah, I
okay,
believe
there
they
you
won.
go. So a little matchy. Let's see if, and do you know if they won that game?
They did.
Artemis
2
won that game?
LC dubs versus
Okay, so
Colorado
the host
College.
tournament both come out
Holding
dubs.
it down.
They wake up for breakfast and eat a W. Let's see if
true.
Artemis, Lewis and Clark, Artemis can
We'll
come
have
away with
another
the second one in this game against Eclipse. So we're on lap 5. The score 2-2. The engine's revving for Artemis. And there comes that zone. It worked out for them last point. Why not throw it again? We talked about it last game that
Gaining
there's a
some
lot of
yards.
swirly winds out here in
Yeah.
Delta Park.
It's a bit chilly.
It's chilly, it's swilly.
Micah with a friction glove only on their offhand, which
Loving the way
That's
they're
awesome.
beautiful high release there.
Let's
They're
go,
swinging the disc
Mira.
nicely, moving that cup, shredding that cup,
back to Micah Keach, full
working the
swing
disc,
to Mira.
gaining yards on each of those swings. Just a few, but that's all you
A
need.
little give and go.
A lot of give and go.
Stick with
Oh!
Lost
And a
it there at
crash
the
out
end.
on that outside wall, kissing that wall.
Ooh,
We got some
immediate
exciting
hug.
ultimate. It's a massive hug. Oh, nice bid.
Can't quite get there, but that
I'm
was
not
a
even calling that
beautiful
gratuitous.
throw.
That was just good energy,
No,
good
that was
effort.
good. They were working hard for it.
Looking to launch off from a rocket filled with race car energy. You know, another fun fact for you, Sierra, race car spelled backwards, it's race car. It's crazy. It's just
Dang.
insane. Boom! And another zone block from this Eclipse. They're really eclipsing that handler movement. It's really producing quite a few turnovers for them. Artemis looking to clean up that zone offense. Colorado College needs to clean up that red zone offense. It's a roll Pio situation out there as Artemis starts out with the disc in the coffin corner, if you will, in this windy zone. As a handler myself, I can tell you sometimes it's a little sketchy over there.
It's a little scary back there. I'm not gonna lie to you.
People don't want to talk about it, but because you need that confidence to get out of there, which Artemis is doing a great job of, shredding through the holes of this zone. Whoa! And Grace Prince says no. I think it's Prince, yeah. Grace Prince. A lot of royalty on this team. You got Marnart Kelly, you got Grace Prince. And they're looking to put the crown on top. The crown is dropped into the hands of another Colorado Eclipse player, and they'll surge ahead. You got to tip your hat to that Eclipsing Cup.
Shaping up to be a really hard-fought game. It's exciting to watch.
Thanks, Elizabeth Kolb out there. Loving the commentary and the fun facts. Feel free to hit a couple fun facts our way. We might shout them out on the screen. Just make sure you cite your sources. You don't have to cite them to me, but just MLA format maybe. We're in college.
If you MLA format us a fun
what's the
fact,
other one? There's MLA and
there's a bunch.
MMA?
No.
APA.
Okay, nerd. Our resident nerd just told us another one.
APA. No, we got a lot of resident nerds on the field though. Self-proclaimed.
On the field. Oh, that's true.
Books are the key to adventure. They're reading the disc movement well, eclipsing that zone offense from Artemis.
Chat, can we get a count on how many times Jack says eclipsing
Oh,
during
we're
this
going to use
stream?
it a lot. I mean, we got it. Would you rather me go with race car-ism?
No, I'm
With
loving the race
NASCAR-isms?
too. Chat, sorry
I'll
for
tell you
coughing.
what, if you're in first, you're last.
That's what they say. And who's that a quote by?
One of the greatest race car drivers, which I don't know if you knew this, but race car spelled backwards, race car.
Yeah, I heard
Ever.
that recently, actually.
Ricky Bobby.
Facts.
2 first names. Kind of like Monarch Kelly.
Yeah.
A 2 first name situation. We saw a cast. Of course, Ricky Bobby broke his cast at one point, or sawed his cast off. We had a cast earlier in Levi Stahl. He was a stalwart out there, making some smooth plays for
We got cast on the field.
Lewis and Clark. Yeah,
Arm cast?
playing with an arm
Leg
cast.
cast?
Playing with a hand cast.
Hand cast.
Metacarpal, most likely. 5th metacarpal, if I'm being specific.
On hand, off hand.
Probably the offhand. It's called a boxer's fracture. Most of the time in boxing is when you're going to do that. You punch someone and your hand breaks. But in this case, when you're laying out on the field, you're punching the ground by accident sometimes.
I broke my hand by accidentally punching the ground on the way out one time.
I'm not going to lie, I've done it 3 times.
Oh my god, I've done it twice times.
Okay, so just a little fun fact from the chatter.
Well,
Thank you, chatter. We'll keep those fun facts going. Turns out, before the automotive industry really popped off in the USA, people used horses as a mode of transportation.
Horses? Oh my god, that's crazy. I didn't know that. Ooh, little
High
tip.
release and a nice layout catch
Beautiful
to keep this point
catch.
alive. That zone offense, it's a little bit swilly. Looking to keep those swings
Great catch by
solid,
Rosa Rudolph
and
on
then
Artemis.
and just as I said that, a swing goes out of bounds. So again, Colorado Eclipse, Sierra eclipsing with their defense,
Yeah,
all
that
encompassing.
Zone. A zone kind of is like an eclipse.
White on
When
rice.
you think about it. It surrounds.
Eclipse on moon.
Eclipse on moon.
Kyla Christie again, really running the show in those purple pants. Purple pants, pink hat.
The show in those purple pants. Up into the end zone.
Wide
to
open
a
player
wide
and
open receiver.
Eclipse surging
Pulls
ahead. The score 4-2 now.
Another toss
Jacob
right
Arts
there.
might have to have a little talk
Jacob Arts gonna turn on the heat.
with the Huntress Collective.
Timeout on the field. Called by Artemis, I believe.
So another timeout called, and you know, if I am Artemis, I think that's a great timeout call.
Yeah.
Specifically, it's felt like the last couple points, as these points have started rolling for Carleton, or sorry, for, no, I said it right,
You
Carleton.
did.
Sorry, Colorado College
Believe in
and
yourself.
Carleton, they're very similar, and you're talking about them earlier. The points were kind of rolling. It was kind of a fast momentum situation. Those Ds were turning into scores quickly.
Artemis is not looking as confident as they did in the first 2 points of this game. I think they got to get their confidence back.
Gotta find their swagger, gotta get their aura. I want to quickly shout out all those volunteers helping us out.
Big shout out to Leo Finley, who's bringing us coffee.
Leo Finley, who's going to give me a sip of something warm that will help me not be so cold.
Leo actually said that he has a fun fact to share with us on the stream, and here he is now.
This coffee and butter handed Jack is actually really cold.
Say it again.
The coffee
The
I
coffee
just
is
handed
already
to Jack
cold.
is really cold.
Okay, well,
so
he's fired.
I hope he enjoys it.
Ooh, that's basically iced coffee in a
You have
hot
to
coffee
protect the
mug.
talent. You
That's
have
how
to
cold it
protect
is. It's a cold snap type of day here
Nico.
in Portland. It's honestly been frost, about a micro inch of frost, couple centimeters of frost on the windshield every morning type of environment in
Yeah, I have to
Portland
break out the
lately.
ice scraper the other day. We got another fun fact in the chat. Firebenders lose their firebending during a solar eclipse.
That is true. Now, however, I
That's
believe
crazy.
there is a lunar fact about blood bending, which might be a little bit scary to get into here. It's an avatar situation, but
The
if-
blood and the moon are connected.
if we're
That's a
blood
fact.
bending, I think the moon helps. I think the moon helps. Maybe even an eclipse helps. Temperature, I'll go ahead and read it off
We,
my
in
phone,
fact,
but
yeah.
I think the temperature
We
is
have a weather app.
generally probably
I'm
about
gonna guess like
39.
37. That's my guess.
Okay, we got 39, 37. Any other guesses out there, anyone?
Oh, what's your guess?
38.
38.
38 is another guess.
Taking that safe middle. Oh,
42. but
we're
with-
all babies. We think
with
it's
that
colder than it is.
chance of
What's
light
the
rain,
feels like? What's
chance
the
of
feels
light
like?
rain in the next hour here. So weather not getting any more forgiving.
Well, we're under a
through this
tent,
game.
so we are safe.
But I'll tell you what.
I was kind of hoping we were gonna have an assistant standing behind us with like an umbrella, but we don't.
That would be special. I mean, we basically do. Got assistants giving us coffee.
That's true.
So
Cold
both
coffee,
teams,
though, for
both
some
teams
reason.
getting chatted to on the lines, and that timeout was called. Eclipse really, the game started out 0-2 Artemis's way, and Eclipse has surged back with a very successful cup zone. It's looking like they're bringing 4 players into that cup zone. A lot of cups usually are more of like a 3-player. They're kind of having another one drag into that handler space and poach up those lanes.
The 4-person cup in women's ultimate is a scary business. I do not like playing against it.
Well,
Shout
I'll tell
out.
you what, it's specifically tough when you're having a hard time swinging it across the field.
Yeah,
So,
if you're dropping those easy resets, you're not gonna have an easy time getting out of that cup.
Artemis really, we want to see them
Oh, we got
lock into those swings, lock into that calming energy on offense. Meanwhile, if I'm Carleton College Eclipse,
Todd has a fun fact for us.
I'm smashing that run the cup zone.
Todd has a fun fact that he told me he wants to say.
Bees carry, I think it's a positive charge, while pollen carries a negative charge. So when bees land on flowers, the difference in charge attracts the pollen to the bees, and also bees can see that difference in charge, so they can see when flowers have no charge, which means there's no pollen starting to be picked up.
Okay, that actually is so relevant because the 3 handlers on Artemis right now all play for a bee-themed team in Portland.
And I'll make it even more relevant. Lewis and Clark has a beekeeping and a fire bend, or not fire bending, but like a fire dancing club at the school.
I
So
went to
a lot of
the
interesting
damn
cool
school is
clubs.
what
A lot
I'm hearing about.
a lot of interesting cool clubs coming out of Lewis and Clark, including the Ultimate program.
Ooh, near miss there. Artemis has got a chance to bring it back.
Oh yeah, thank you, Nico. Yeah, it depends on the core cannon, the blood bending situation.
Yeah, I was seeing that as well. I
Great
wasn't
show.
really sure what that meant.
It's
but
a reference to Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Well, I got that part,
which
yes.
you know, frisbee is a lot like airbending. You got to control the wind.
It
You got to
is.
control the elements.
And Artemis is the goddess of the wilderness, I believe. Oh,
The goddess of the hunt, right?
the hunt. But I think that she has a connection to like the wilderness,
The
and
elements,
wildlife,
right.
the elements.
So a little miscue there. There was a little bit of a collision, a little bit of a crash on the outside wall.
No foul
Here
called
at
though,
D3
so
Grand
we move
Prix.
on.
The number 44 car in white,
Oh,
pointing,
calling it to
shooting
go. Caitlin's right there though. Oh, but
Oh,
she
and a
can't
nice
quite
toe
get it.
in.
Little toe.
from Pilar
Looking
and
up line,
Druitt.
looking up line. Oh, oh.
Throws it into the spot.
Oh.
And wow.
A lot of hands there, but Carleton
Carleton
does
College.
come out with it.
Carleton is really just putting the pedal to the metal. They're surging ahead in a big way. 5-3 the score now. The gas is
Still
on.
Quite early days though.
Excuse me. Sorry. So Artemis again having trouble with that zone. They're definitely figuring out the swings a bit. Trying to continue firing up the squad as they hustle back to their pull. Interesting fact about Lewis and Clark. You ready for one?
I literally, Jack, there's nothing more that I love than your fun facts. Other than the Chad's
Lewis
fun
and Clark
facts.
has a mascot. It is that of a dog, a Newfoundland dog by the name of Seaman.
Obviously.
They bring him onto the field for
They
their
bring
football
Seaman
games.
out on the field for the football games. What is this stream rated? Like, no rating. I
Unfettered,
just got the green light to say the
unfettered,
nastiest
untapped, like the
issue
hunt of the
I've heard.
wilderness.
Now seems like a great time for me to give some shout outs that I was told. First out, I want to shout out Mira's grandmother, Polly. Polly, if you're watching this stream, your granddaughter loves you. And she is on the field right now, I'm pretty sure. So shout out Mira. We're also going to give a quick shout out to Alex Abrams' family. Shout out Fran, shout out Stacy. We love y'all.
Alex Abrams, what a great personality.
That Alex Abrams is one of my favorite people that I know.
A lot of aura.
Lot of aura, big aura from Alex Abrams.
Really not even an aura farmer, an aura rancher. The amount of aura is like
Some do say
1,000
that.
head, 1,000 head of cattle. type
It's because of
thing.
that green hair. It seeps in to the brain, I think, truly. Isabel, my favorite pop drop flavor is brown sugar cinnamon.
It's cinnamon brown sugar though.
Okay,
You know
well.
that.
Like cinnamon's
I
doing
don't-
most of the work though.
No, I wouldn't say that at all. Nice save from Annika. I would not say that. I would say brown sugar is doing a lot more work than cinnamon.
Nice decision
Gorge.
there.
Oh,
what a
beautiful
bid there.
layout from Amelie.
Steer
Looking.
soaring through the sky.
To
That
Izzy.
Oregon soar rostered player.
Ooh, great run through D from
A
Carleton.
little bit telegraphed there offensively. So again, Carleton College turning D into O. Purple pants, pink hat, running the show.
They are-
Kyla Christie
Yeah, they are great at getting the ball just immediately rolling after a turn.
pointing and shooting. The amount of pointing and shooting that is happening this game
Oh!
is quite impressive. And another score. It's 6-2 now.
They're kind of running away with it.
Running away with it almost. It's 4 under. Actually, it's 7 unanswered points. 6 unanswered points in a row. The score was 0-2. Now it is 6-2.
For those of at home who might not know, what are we playing today? Are we playing a 13 or 15? What'd you say?
Generally 13.
13. That's
There
what I would
is-
say too if someone asked me.
Oh yeah, sorry, that is wrong. It is not hard. Hard cap is not on right now.
Why would hard cap be on right now?
It just says that on our infographic just from the last game, which is fine. The hard cap timer. Oh, I see. That's the timer to hard cap.
You learn something new.
So that
You learn
actually-
something. You learn something new every stream. That's true. Shouts out Owen Hay.
Who's our
Shouts out to
commentators?
our tournament
Wouldn't you
director.
love to know which one's your favorite, Nico? Which one of us do you like better? My name's Sierra. What's your name?
My name's Jack. You can follow me on Instagram at jwalkaroot.
Heck yeah, you can follow me on Instagram too. It's Sierra Gray 13, I think.
Sierra Gray runs an incredible. Oh, there we go. Yeah, and that's my Twitter right there. I think those. Is that your Twitter too?
I don't know.
S.A.
Where?
Gray.
Oh yes, it is. Let's go.
Perfect. Throwing out tweets, X's, whatever you want to call it these days. I'm chirping. I'm chirping
I'm
about
throwing
it.
out my exes too.
All my exes
Nobody's
live
out,
in
please.
Northfield, Minnesota.
All of my exes are in the vicinity.
I'm gonna need you to reel it in on the mic here, Sierra. So
They told me good work, but not you.
a couple,
Hey!
a couple more facts, or Carleton facts.
So sorry.
T-Pain was on the
That was a
scene
huge
in
one time.
2015. Unfortunately, during D3 Natty, so the entire Carleton
Not a lot of Frisbee
Eclipse
people
or D1 Natty, so the entire Carleton SysG Ultimate team was unable to see T-Pain in 2015.
Ugh. I wonder
Really
if
tough.
any of them have ever seen T-Pain or if they lost their only opportunity outside.
Oh, what a grab!
Oh,
Of
that was so fire. Is that
saving the day there for Artemis. That would have been
I feel like I know her
a
name.
huge deflation from momentum. Oh, another crazy grab. 3 in a row. Things are getting a little messy, but we're cleaning it up here. Artemis
gotta make
looking
a
to
move.
run that set,
Ooh, can't quite get the third one in.
and it's not going to work out there.
Slow to get up on number 19 from Artemis. Mira's out here knowing the calls.
I'm thinking that the foul was more on the ground. There's a lot of contact at the ground.
I was
and
seeing
she
a
might
lot
have
of
felt
ground
that.
work.
She might have felt that.
But Artemis does retain possession though.
And that's big for them. They need to keep
Putting
this
up a little
distance.
something funky. Oh,
And so deflation on one end, elation on the other. You can see that energy on the Carleton's team's throws.
it's a good
Throwing
drop
to
from
space.
Mira.
Oh, what a beautiful throw!
Perfect.
They are firing on
perfect height,
all
perfect
cylinders
flow.
here. A moonshot of a deep puck right down the line.
What would you say a moonshot is if you had to describe it?
I'd call it probably like a shot to the moon. So a quick half here, an astronomical showing out of those first opening points from Carleton College, Carleton Eclipse. The score now 7-2. We'll get back to you in a little bit. Thanks for joining us at the D3 Grand Prix.
Love ya.
All right, welcome back,
Hello.
viewers, streamers,
Guys,
chatter.
I missed y'all like real bad.
Thank you so much for joining us here at the D3 Grand Prix. It's our second year and our
Y'all see
first
them
time
dancing
streaming
out here?
real round play.
Look at this dance. Get the dance on the stream.
Carleton eclipsing the score of the first half, 7-2.
Yeah, they low-key do be eclipsing. Hey, stream guy, move it to the dance. Thanks,
The-
stream guy. Who's up there? Shout out Spencer for real. What's
The
his last name?
rain has picked up here. And out of halftime, all of a sudden we got a nice consistent drizzle. So what was cold is now really cold and wet.
Also wet. Are you, wait, this is a really important question for you and any other Frisbee players in the chat. Are you pro rainy Frisbee or anti-rainy Frisbee?
All right, I want to ask you, because I saw you chatting with some people on the sideline. I know I talked to Alex Abrams. I'd like to hear what you heard from the people you chatted with.
I heard quite a few things. First of all, I got some more people to shout out, but we'll save that for later.
Yeah.
Fun fact about Artemis, they don't have any left-handed people on their team.
Not a single one.
Not a single one.
Now, did you talk to any of the Carleton players or just Artemis?
I didn't talk to any of the Carleton players.
Okay,
That
all right.
didn't, it didn't come up.
They were huddled up. They're locked in.
They
really.
yes, they were.
There is a unit traveling here. A nice
Great
sky
toss.
catch.
Quick throw.
Oh, and a nice D.
Oh,
And it's going to be it. Oh,
Taylor
wow.
Osborne.
And a great little offensive setup to start the second half.
Artemis said, hold up, we gotta lock it.
Artemis
And then they did.
decides up the sideline to use their bow and arrow, taking the bowstring and pulling it back for a bullseye.
That was a lot of bees. You know what they say about Artemis is that she's got perfect aim with her bow. And it turns out
The
that
daughter of Zeus.
That-
Electrifying
yes.
play out there.
So absolutely true. I talked to their coaches, Artemis's coaches at halftime, and I said, what are you telling your players to get them hyped up for this next half? What are we doing to bring it back? And they said they just got to stay calm. They're doing the right stuff 99% of the time, and then they're just not finishing it out at the end, making some silly mistakes.
Yeah.
And I mean, if this first point is any indication, they're bringing it back.
I was actually a little bit surprised when I talked to Alex Abrams. I said, hey, you guys seem to be struggling with this zone. And
Yeah.
she said, no. They said, no, we're not. We're not struggling with this zone. We're just out of, when they're transitioning out of it, we're goofing on like our regular flow offense.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, we were talking about how, and
Yeah, actually.
ultimately it's easier to see from bird's eye view how that zone affects those swing plays and affects those swing passes, so that, yeah, you might goof one or two of them, but that's really what the zone wants, right? A zone wants you to make a lot more
wants a
throws,
goof.
and they're relying on the law of averages there, right? Like, the more throws there's going to be one that goes our way. So 7-3 to score. Artemis with a little bit of fuel in the tank. They made that pit stop at halftime, tried to make some adjustments. The main adjustments Alex Abrams was talking to me about was on D. They're having issues just setting standard defense correctly on Eclipse. So I'd like to see them out of this D point here on the 11th lap of the D3 Grand Prix. I'd like to see him put a little bit of that rocket fuel, send him to the moon.
Let's see.
Up to the moon. You shoot for the moon, you're going to land among the stars. But
Yes.
personally, if I'm Artemis with that good aim, I'm shooting for the moon and I'm getting
And I'm
myself a D
hitting.
on this point. Right up the line, in the right spot. And they're just yeeting it up the sideline. Oh, and a beautiful
Great D by Izzy.
point-saving D.
That's new player for Artemis, Izzy, who
Man,
is.
if I was Artemis, I'd also be concerned with those double teams. That cup's feeling pretty
It's a little
close.
tight. Oh, little random hammer there to the middle. That's okay.
Inside track.
Who in there?
Carleton is just wide open.
Again with that defense, they're leaving
Yeah.
the. Oh, well, I guess that was a breakthrow. But
So I think in general it feels like transition is where the
They're
problem
falling
is
short.
for Artemis. Transition defense, transition offense.
And that's where we're seeing Carleton have a lot of success. They're off to the races, throwing it right down the line. They're just trusting in their receivers.
The rain is also off the races. It's raining harder by the gosh dang second.
So maybe Artemis, this rain is a bit of a like place of comfort for them. Of course, here in Portland, we're used to the wet. Maybe Carleton's more
Is
used
Carleton?
to those water particles being frozen.
They're used to the cold hands though. So
Cold hands, right?
I'm not seeing, honestly, look, I'm not seeing a lot of gloves over there. I am seeing a lot of gloves over here.
What
Do
does
you
this
agree?
mean?
That means that they're not as cold as the people from Portland are.
Okay, so you heard it. Sierra believes that Artemis is colder,
Yeah.
and that's affecting. Which, if I'm looking at the lines here, just like the amount of people, Carleton definitely has a smaller team.
That's
that means
true.
that those
More
players are
active.
getting more reps. They're staying warmer for longer. A lot of the time on a bigger team, you're only going to get in sometimes, and when you're only getting in sometimes you're coming in cold.
You get a lot of
Personally,
times
I
so
always
cold.
want to stay on as much as I can, both because it's fun to play Ultimate, but also because it's nice to stay loose, stay warm,
It's not
stay
fun to
locked
just
into the game.
Get cold and wet on the sideline. It's not fun. One way Artemis recharges on the sideline. Let me tell you all about Mount Olive Pickles.
Mount Olive Pickles, a beautiful substance for the game of Ultimate. You lose a lot of sweat out here. You need that salt.
And they are actually the unofficial sponsor of Lewis and Clark Ultimate.
Wow.
So Mount Olive Pickles, if you are listening, where's the sponsor at? Where's the sponsor at?
I mean, personally, I'm more of a Boobies pickle guy
You're-
myself. You
what
can
kinda
find
guy
that.
are
You can
you?
find that at a local Kroger, Fred Meyer in the area.
So, hit me with the name again?
Boobies. Boobies, as in that means
in-
it's a grandma, a Yiddish grandma, really, is a boobie. But yeah,
Interesting that they
I
let the
definitely
zone
don't
come
like
all
a
the way
bread
down
and
for a
butter
second.
pickle. I don't like a sweet pickle.
I don't like a
It's not
pickle.
into me, or I'm not into it.
It's not into
It's
me,
not
and
into-
I'm not into
that was
it. We are
crazy.
not. That was super crazy.
Amelie steering the committee, the Artemis committee, looking to connect those constellations, and a beautiful hand block
by
off of this
Sadie.
zone.
By Sadie, number one.
Maybe Artemis is a little bit delusional about how this cup zone is affecting them.
Ooh,
Amelie
Amelie's looking to
Steer
get that
in
D
the-
back.
in the area, but-
not quite. Did take a hard hit there in the end zone.
Gosh, Carleton really shooting those shots, running and gunning. Steer looking to save that point from another break for Eclipse. Just a bit of honestly, as someone who's played on these fields, there's about an inch of turf and then it's just straight concrete.
Very true. Shout out Delta
An
Park.
unforgiving soil in the fertile lands of the Pacific Northwest.
That's their
home
tagline.
of Bacchus, home of
Delta Park
Artemis,
and unforgiving soil.
home of revelry and ecstasy, home of
Home of ecstasy.
yeah the
What are we talking about right now?
revelry. Bacchus is the god of revelry.
I don't know. I'm real with you right now. I don't know what revelry means.
Revelry is like celebration, feasting.
Oh yeah.
You know, soaking in the great parts of life.
God of soaking in the great parts of life. That is what they call me.
A goddess.
You could be a god too. I feel like.
9-3 the score.
What's gender neutral god goddess?
Going into our 13th lap of the D3 Grand Prix. Maybe we could get Owen TD to give us some tourney results potentially. See where we're
itching to
at.
say some stuff. I can tell.
Seeing to see who's surging
I'll
up
have to get
top.
back to you on the results.
Yeah, no.
Pull up some interesting results.
We'll get some live results as soon as we can. Maybe we'll get Data Dip on there to help.
Yeah, we should employ data bit.
But my oh my, what a beautiful day it is for NASCAR racing. What a beautiful day it is to tighten up those belts, rev those engines,
Nico's really
and get
loving
ready for this second half of our second stream here at the D3 Grand Prix.
Yeah, you like how I came in?
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
sick.
just like we drew it up.
Chat, we'd love to run your fun facts through the fact checker system and hear from you. You got any fun facts about your alma mater, your school? Let us know in the chat. Score predictions. If you think that Eclipse is going to dominate, put a 1 in the put an E for Eclipse in the chat.
Not big score update.
Okay, we got a
Big
score update.
We're on upset alert.
Upset alert.
as
Upset alert.
Northwest Challenger Puget Sound takes
Yep.
down the visiting Colorado Mines.
Colorado School of Mines.
Golden, Colorado area.
So a little bit of a upset there. The 5 seed taking down the 3 seed Colorado School of Mines.
That would be in the open division.
The score 13-10. That's in the open division.
Carleton Eclipse looking very strong out the gate today. Of course, they have a commanding lead in this game. But not only that, they beat Claremont in the last round,
Yeah.
12-2.
Almost bageled them, 12-2.
Almost bageled them, and in the first round today, 11-4 versus Colorado College. That's your women's division update.
Okay, so they haven't gotten scored on by more than 4 points. Let's see if Artemis can do the same.
What do we got now?
A little
We're
bit
at
of a
3.
collision there, bumper to bumper, but the cars are still racing. Number 66, white car with the backhand swing onto that back fence. It's not going to pay off. Artemis knocking on the doorstep of tying that highest score against Carleton's Eclipse's women's team. They are just dominating the field today. If we're putting them on a podium right now, they're drinking the milk. They're on the top. They're getting out of their car, showered in celebration.
They're Carleton.
Yeah, exactly. There's a reason they're called Carleton. More like Mass Carleton, the way that they're
Carleton.
speeding down, whipping out these throws. That one a little errant. So once again, giving Artemis field position.
Shot, I love you. Shot with some heaters. Oh, gorgeous little inside to Caitlin. What's she gonna do? What's she gonna do?
Wow, tight
Oh,
squeeze.
yes, Caitlin Osborne to Mira.
It's easy to squeeze those in when you have the aim of a huntress.
Perfect aim. And the rain gets harder. I think so. It gets louder.
Astrological alignment. A syzygy for Artemis. Little flip-flop situation, little role reversal. The score now 9-4. Carleton still out in front, commanding that lead. Their zone has definitely done a number. Transition offense and defense has been an issue for Artemis. They're coming out on an important D-line. If they can score this point, I think we're in a different ball game. I think we're in a different flat ball game than we were for the first half and really the opening points even of this second half. This is those momentum moments.
Shout out Enzo Osborne, which I can only imagine is related to Caitlin Osborne. Because they said that their favorite 2 people scored, which included Caitlin Osborne.
Which, you know, that's wonderful. It's a little hurtful as I thought maybe we could be their 2 favorite people.
Enzo, how come we're not your 2 favorite people that you've never met, obviously? I
mean,
you're
I feel
great.
like we're getting to know each other.
I do, yeah. I feel a
We're
lot
exchanging
close, I
words.
feel a lot closer to the people in this stream than I did 30 minutes ago when I didn't know them.
See some nice dancing there in the bottom right corner of your screen. They're keeping the vibes high, keeping warm on the sideline. That rain just keeps coming down. I'd say the temperature may have picked up with that cloud coverage another degree or 2, but we're still in that like 40 degrees.
William's hating on Meter Jack. momentum moments when they're down 9-4.
You know, the momentum has to start somewhere.
The momentum moment has to begin somewhere, and so that was the beginning of the momentum moment.
I'm saying that they're at the bottom, it's only up from here. If they do not score this next point, like I'm saying, the momentum, all the momentum
then
they
the
just
momentum
had,
moment ends.
it's like the flywheel concept on a train. I don't know if anyone is
I don't know
familiar
what
here.
any of that means.
So the
Tell me about
flywheel,
it.
it's the heaviest part of the train, but it moves it the fastest. So it's
Ooh, nice
hard to get it
smash from
going.
number
It's
10.
hard to get it going. Is that inbounds? No. It's hard to get that flywheel moving, but once it does start moving with that inertia, it really starts chugging.
Big under option there.
Artemis
Not
in
taking
their
it.
revenge against Will Era, no.
Throw away from Sunshine.
Colorado
right
College
back
says
into the end
no,
zone.
or Carleton College, excuse me.
Wide open again. from
Adopting
Carleton
that
College.
Colorado College block pro education system.
I need.
They're blocking that one, Carleton. Eclipsing and encompassing them on all fronts. The score now 10-4. All of that momentum moment has gone and done and vanished. It's a waning momentum moon, a waning crescent, a sliver of a fingernail left of hope for this Artemis team.
That's brutal, right there. A sliver of a fingernail. Like, I'm gonna tell him you said that. Oh, he's scared.
I mean, you gotta start somewhere.
Nico's learning so many new things. It's so true.
A score 10-4. We're here at the D3 Grand Prix.
If you want to exchange more knowledge with us, you could even put some fun facts in the chat. Preferably about these two schools, but I will read anything you said. To an extent, actually. Don't say anything crazy.
Yeah, I did have some. I had some other fun facts about Lewis and Clark. They've invented 2 games.
They invented two. What kind of games?
2 intramural games. One of them is Wolfetch. I have
Okay.
no idea how that's played, but I would assume it's some sort of a wolf fetch situation.
Oh.
And then Ninja. They're claiming to have invented a game
They're
called
claiming
Ninja.
that they invent like ninja.
Well, I mean, it sounds like you know about it.
Well, you know the game Ninja. When you all stand in a circle and like you get one movement, you like move your hand really quick.
Oh, that game. I
Is
don't
that
know.
what they're saying? They're
I think it
inventing?
might be a different one. I know specifically, like in Eugene, there was a game kind of that reminded me of when I read that, where it was like people running around, sneaking around at night, playing like a form of tag with cars.
This card.
Um,
Oh, I've heard about this. It sounds really fun. I would love to participate.
Another little Lewis and Clark fun fact as we continue to wait here for the next poll. It will be our 15th lap of this race between these two teams, a race to 13. Lewis and Clark was once called the Albany College Institute.
You love that fact.
1867 was when that college was founded. Moved to Portland in the 40s, 1940s. Alex Abrams with a nice swing to start, but then it floats
too
right
far.
over the top. Oh boy.
These are these defensive transitions that they have to be fast on if they want to get that D against Carleton again.
Nice movement here from Carleton. I mean, after the first 2 points, I don't know how many discs they've turned over. They have really played sound ultimate. They've definitely played a little trigger happy, but it's worked out for the most part. Like that, for example, just like kind of a late breaking upline throw, and they're just gonna
Beautiful
take the
break
shots.
right into the end zone.
Taking the shots. 11-4 now. They are rolling. Speaking of roll pios. Frankie Sereniti, a great ultimate player on Artemis, but more importantly, well, maybe not necessarily more importantly, equally as importantly.
Other one, baby.
Oh, sorry, Carleton. I just saw the Lewis and Clark 33 right in front of my screen, so I wasn't sure. A chemistry
going, though.
researcher by night. A chemistry researcher by night. God tier, apparently.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Quinn
crazy.
Leo.
I got some more shout outs.
Shout out Leo Finley.
Well, yeah, first of all, shout out
Speaking of
Finley,
Leo.
if we're going to shout out anyone. Shout out also Allison and Adele and Carrie. I know y'all are watching, and thank you for supporting us. I don't remember who you are related to, I'm not going to lie. But it's definitely someone on Artemis. Maybe Alex. No.
So if I'm Carleton and my objective for this tournament was to have fun, boy, am I succeeding as that goal. We have not had a team score more than 4 points on them. Will that continue through the rest of this game? That's kind of really the marquee storyline as we go into the last really like third of this game. Maybe even like last quarter. Like there is no quarters in ultimate.
In like vibes wise, there is.
Vibes, yeah. Or a third quarter.
In terms of
is
aura,
over.
there are corners.
So both coaches getting their teams ready for the line for the poll here.
Yeah.
The moon matchup. Quite a
That's cute.
out of this world experience.
Artemis sideline calling to bring the energy up.
All of these eclipses, all these syzygies, they only happen in planetary transits. You want to see a monumental momentum shift if you're Lewis and Clark. Shouts out the momentum moment.
Quinn says the fun fact is that Eclipse is hungry for that Natty championship. That's true. I know that's true.
Yeah, a lot of these teams had their eyes set on making an appearance at D3 Nationals.
Ooh, see, that's another just miss.
A lot of miscues from
Little error
Artemis. A
on
lot of those
Artemis. Oh.
swings just not connecting.
That was the first fast break from Carleton that I have not seen work out for them. Another miscue for them, and Artemis has the disc yet again.
Here's another Lewis and Clark fact. The Lewis and Clark Pios are looking to change their mascot, this formal school. Lewis and Clark's ultimate team, Bacchus, sort of vying for their Bacchus to be the whole college's mascot.
Yes.
Nice doink there, doink catch.
Does it still count as an assist if it's from the other team?
But so they're
Ooh,
taking
sneaky
submissions
upline
on
to
name
Micah
changes.
Keach, whose family member Allison.
Wide open.
Wide
This will
open
be the most
receiver.
points
Are they
scored if they
not
can get
playing
it.
Bounds, but Annika is. And a last-minute drop from Annika in the end zone. That's what those coaches are talking
Tough.
about. Is they're working it all the way up the field, and they're 99% of the way there, and they make a silly mistake.
But what did they decide? So far, the leading candidate for the new mascot name, Moss, Lewis and Clark Moss, which is also subsequently the name of
That's pretty fire.
Lewis and Clark Bacchus teammates' favorite bands.
Moss, really? What kind of? Do we know what kind of music they're working with? Yeah.
What a bid there.
A
Amelie.
lot of under options, kind of cutting each other off there.
All right, losing yards here on their swings, right? They were gaining yards to open this game on swings. Now they're losing yards significantly. What's changed defensively? I'm seeing almost person-to-person defense from Carleton right now.
Yeah, a lot less zone in this half.
Trusting in their matchups. Still 11-4 here. Just 4 minutes left until that cap horn blows. When we say, all right, wrap your games up. We got another game to play.
Beautiful swing there from Amelie, and a little
There's
give
the
and go
handler
between her and
movement they've
Micah.
needed through the main portion of this game. And just another crucial drop.
Carleton has put up a lot of deep shots with nobody down there.
Is it just a punt?
Is it just
they
a
milking
huck
the
and play
clock?
D
Are
moment?
they milking the clock to get on that
Are they-
podium so that they can open their milk and become the D3 Grand Prix champions?
Would be the first to lift the D3 Grand Prix trophy.
First year for a trophy for D3 Grand Prix. I'm
Cutie,
getting
what does the
word here
trophy
in the
look
booth.
like?
Check it out, it's over there.
Okay.
You can check out
The
at
stream
Tourney
can't check
Central
it.
the beaut. Another layout here from On My
Amelie's
Steer.
not afraid to get down on that 1-inch turf.
But yeah, you can check it out at Tourney Central. We have lots of swag for you over there as well.
Yeah, saw y'all got some merch this year.
Cool merch.
It kind of fucks, not gonna lie.
The name of this trophy is I'm trying
Little
to
run through D from Carleton, and
the
they've got
Steely?
it back again down here in
A
the
Steely.
Artemis end zone.
shout out Oregon Steel. Shout out Oregon Soar.
Oh yes, but Micah's hungry. Tips it just a bit to Amelie, and
That was
Artemis
crazy
has
that
got it
worked
back.
out.
Open receiver in the end zone, but it falls a little short.
So another thing just to know, Artemis, apparently if there were hunters that were better than her, she would kill them.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a viable strategy here for Artemis, as they are being out-hunted, but
We got a
it's like a timeout, another
We got a call
timeout.
for an inhaler.
Is it a clock
We got
milking
rain.
situation? Is it a clock milking situation?
What's the clock looking at these days?
The people want to
Looking
know.
like these days. I don't know. I can't read.
Shout out to the Steer fan club. You guys really are supporting quite a legendary player. Regardless of score, you can see a lot of the pieces of the puzzle fitting together in that strong young player. Very impressive. I'm sure we'll be hearing their name many times in the future. Potentially this season. That professional ultimate circuit, a lot of those tryouts finishing up, those rosters kind of finally being chiseled out. Shout out the Vegas Bighorns, their inaugural
Yeah.
season this year. We'll see how it pans out for them in the West. Then you got your PLU, PUL, the Premier Ultimate League. That's the women's matching division. You got, I can't remember the name of the East Coast version of the PUL. WU. Oh yeah, PUL is the East Coast. WUL,
That's what we
the
got over
Western
here.
Ultimate League. East and West soon will combine. But again, all of this stuff happens because of viewers like you, volunteers. Ultimate's a sport that's on the rise. It takes a community. So again, do what you can to help support Ultimate in your local community. Getting youth plastic in their hands, cleats on their feet, hopefully more than 1 inches of turf under their feet here at Delta Park. But thank you, honestly, thank you, Delta Park, for hosting so much Ultimate. You gotta shout out any place that's willing to have us.
Shout out the All-Star game being here and during the day this year, and not in the middle of nowhere at 9 p.m.
Yeah, we will
Y'all
be
don't know how much that means to
most
me.
likely or 100% streaming the All-Star game. 100% we'll be streaming the All-Star game. Me and Sierra. Yeah, it is an open All-Star, no longer a mixed All-Star game.
Boo. Just kidding. Watch it anyways.
Lack of legs in the women's division to support a
Yeah,
mixed All-Star
it's
game.
hard to
Team.
honestly, as someone we've all played Ultimate in this booth right now. It is really hard to go through a tournament playing like 4 soccer games in a day, and then your team's like, oh, you were the best player today, which means you probably ran really hard and tried really hard.
How do you
so
feel
play
about
one more
working
game.
even harder for one more game?
Yeah, exactly. So how do you feel about working really hard in front of everyone?
Well, I have an exciting announcement, and that is that this is the last ever D3 Grand Prix All-Star game.
Oh
Oh, why is that? Not enough All-Stars here or what?
Because
You hear that, folks? You're gonna want to spread the
Okay.
word.
Okay.
Spread the word, folks.
Events being
It is the
adjusted.
last All-Star game ever
If
to
you
happen
want
in
to
the
see
D3
that,
Grand
now
Prix.
is the only time you will ever be able to do so in so long. Basically, like the rest of your
3:30.
life.
Tell your friends. Tell your
3:30.
family. Post it on Facebook. Post it on your LinkedIn. Post it on there.
Post
Start
it on your
networking
LinkedIn.
now, because this All-Star game is gonna go bonkers. It's gonna go crazy type. For real, for real. FR.
Oh, the game's back. Yes, timeout is over. Carleton College has the disc. Peach doing a nice job shutting that.
I'm surprised we didn't see a zone earlier from Artemis. It's already clearly working.
Yeah.
A nice, really like bailout throw there over the top from Carleton. Sasha Monks in control with the disc.
A lot open down here, field here.
Alyssa Alvarez also.
Zone
Helping
crumbling there
out.
at the end from Artie.
Those,
That might not
those
be their
players,
strong suit. Maybe that's why they haven't thrown zone yet. Thought they'd pull it out after a timeout. I wonder if we'll see it again at all before this game ends.
those players, as I mentioned, Sasha Monks, Alyssa Alvarez, Kyla Christie, very much so running the show for Eclipse out there.
Yep.
And it
And
looks like
that
that's the
is
end of the game. Looks like they got to 12. They had it at 11.
Will anybody
Maybe
break
hard cap came
through
on.
the 4 points against Carleton College today, tomorrow? It's
Yeah,
tournament, I
4
wonder.
points is the most that's been scored on Eclipse at this tournament. Who's gonna break that?
Who wants
Who
it
wants
for
it?
real?
We'll see you at 3:30 here for that All-Star game.
But first, we'll see
But
the next game
first-
at 1:30.
But
The next
first,
game is at 1:30.
we'll have a streamed game at 1:30. It'll be Whitman versus the Colorado School of Mines in the men's
Crazy school,
division, the
man.
open division.
And then we're
we ca-
back on the mics at 3:30.
Then we'll be
All-Stars.
back on the mics for that All-Star game. We really do so appreciate everyone who's tuned in, who's tapped into the D3 Grand Prix here in Portland, Oregon. Shouts out to all the people who are helping support this, helping it come together. And we hope you all have a good rest of your day, good middle of your day, and a happy Saturday.
Love ya.